Natural Nomad podcast. Hope you guys and girls are enjoying yourself on this wicked ass Tuesday. It's super sunny out, feeling good. Crushed morning cardio, crushed the workout. So we're feeling all right. We're feeling good. We're going to dive into a very popular topic today. Something that I know a lot of people thinking about whenever it comes to them setting up like goals for themselves when they want to, like, okay, we'll say they want to change their physique, they want to look like somebody, and they assume that this person is like whatever weight they are, and then they say, okay, well, I want to be that weight too. Or when they're going through their own fitness journey, then you know they're making progress, but they don't see like dramatic changes in the numbers on the scale, and they feel like, oh fuck, well, maybe I'm not making as good a progress as I think I am. So today we're going to be talking about it. Today we're going to be bringing the reality to you live and direct, of what my opinion is when it comes to numbers. In my opinion, weight is just a number, which is why it's titled "Weight is Just a Number." This the episode of today's podcast, right? So, just stay tuned, keep that in mind, and I'm gonna break down essentially a couple of points here as to what I mean, to dive into the fact or the topic, that states weight is just a number. Okay, but before we dive in, I'm actually running a little bit low on energy, so I got pre-workout instead of coffee. I don't even really drink coffee unless I go out to drink coffee with others. So yeah, that's what it is. And I haven't recorded the podcast yet, so I'll be starting that all up once I get my sips of water or pre-workout, whatever. It's just blue water for those of y'all that do know. But mhm. All right. Hopefully that's gonna give me enough energy in a bit. Okay, so let's dive into it. I'm gonna get this podcast rolling soon, in a couple of seconds. All right, so we're gonna hit the air in five, four, three, two, and one. All right, welcome to another episode of the Natural Nomad Podcast. This is the number one podcast for anyone on this planet, country, or nation who wants to make an amazing mental and physical natural transformation. Disclaimer: I'm going to tell you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear. Not because I want to be mean, but because I respect you. So if you tune in and decide to give me the time out of your life that you know you'll never get back, the very least I can do for you is keep it a stack. All right. So now that that's out the way, let's chat with IFBB Pro Matt Butale. Let's get raw, nomads. Before I dive into it, I want to let you know, if you have any questions, things of that sort that you want to bring up on the air and they're a little bit too private, you can shoot me a DM and we can talk about that on a one-to-one level. All right. Also, subscribe to my YouTube channel if you haven't already. MATT space BUTALE. So, Gamer Angel wants to smile on TikTok. That's a smile. I know it was so fucking shit, but it's whatever. So let's get into it. Let's dive into it. So, guys and girls, weight is just a number. That's the title of today's podcast episode. All right. Weight is a number. So what do I mean by this? Well, let me know if this makes sense to you, if this is something that you can relate to. If you've ever seen like a celebrity, or if you've ever seen anybody in general that, you look at their physique or their body, and maybe their stats say that they weigh this much, say just randomly it's 150 pounds. Like, you want to look like this model, and he or she is 150 pounds or 180 pounds, and you assume to yourself, well, okay, we're relatively the same height, but they weigh that much and I weigh this much. I want to set a goal to look like this person, so I'm gonna, aspire to be 150 pounds or whatever this situation is. Okay. And weight is just a number. That point is going to prove it, because even if you are the same height and you do get to the same weight, you're going to look different for so many other reasons. Genetics, like muscle insertions, the way you look, the way your bones are, your bone structure, so many things. And let's also talk about conditioning as well, the amount of muscle to fat you have on your body. Even if you had the identical amount, still, bone length and just what, like, their bone structure is so, like, just too many variables to want to be like somebody based off of how much they weigh, or to want to be like somebody based off of their stats, based off of the numbers. Which is why, like, I always tell people, because they always come up to me, they ask, yo, Matt, how much do you weigh? Okay. Around how much do you weigh? And I'll tell them, and then they'll be like, okay, well, cool. Because I want to get to like close to that, but I don't want to get to your level. And then they say, I would like to, you know, get to this weight right here, whatever number it is. And assuming that if they get closer to me in weight, or whatever the situation is, that they'll get closer to me in, or other people as well. as I said, with people that just look at stats of other models or celebrities they want to look like. So I'm here to tell you, numbers, it's not that linear. If it was that easy, if it was like that, it would be like that, but it's not. So I really don't want to discourage anybody. I just want you to understand that your reality is going to be different, and you think you want to know how much you think you really know how much you actually want to weigh, if that makes sense. But in reality, it's less of the number telling you the information and more of your like response in the mirror to what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? So instead of you aiming to say, oh, just randomly, Michael Jordan was X, he weighed this, however much he weighed. And I want to weigh like, the exact amount as him because we have the same height. And due to that, I'll look like him. I want that frame. I want that physique. I just want to look like Michael Jordan. You got to understand at that point you think you know how much you want to weigh, but you don't actually know, right? Because what's going to tell you, what's going to make you comfortable, what's going to give you that mental clarity is looking into the mirror and actually being comfortable with what you see. And that's not a number, that's more of a feeling. And we're gonna get a little bit into we're gonna dive into that in a little bit. What's up, Tyson? I see you, bro. Natural Nomad in the house. What's happening, bro? I know he's moving grain right now, probably still moving grain. Let me know. I saw your story, bro. All right, so I want to tell you this. So just going off of what we just mentioned, what you currently look like should primarily guide you. Like looking at the mirror, that should be your number one guide. Looking directly into the mirror. All right, and here's why. Okay, because this is something that I've noticed for a lot of people, and in a way for myself as a bodybuilder, maybe not the exact same way, but it does happen as well. Where I've noticed for so many other clients in the past, they'd be making amazing progress. Inches are coming off the waist. Um, Arms are getting bigger. Numbers are going up when it comes to strength. Again, these are just numbers, but they're actually making solid improvements. And then they start to get discouraged when, again, assuming this person's journey is fat loss, or their number on the scale doesn't like decline as fast as it used to, or the number on the scale isn't as dramatic as a change as they hope for it to be. Again, using that same mental perspective of them comparing where they want to go with their physique, okay, and attaching that to a number. Like, I will only be happy at this weight. I will only be happy, achieving that goal weight. When you couldn't be further from the truth, because you'll truly find happiness in your physique in the mirror. Okay, like it's going to exist in the mirror. When you look in the mirror and say, "Shit, that's me," like that's what I look like. That's where like that is where it comes from. That's where that level of not only confidence, but that level of like self accomplishment. It doesn't come from I stepped on a scale, looked at the number, and then backed off. Boom, like I'm so happy I hit the number. But I look in the mirror and I look like shit or I feel like shit. You know what I'm saying? The same thing could even apply to me, and this is something that my colleagues too. Like we're all online fitness coaches, at least when I'm speaking of uh, colleagues and things of that sort in the mentorship community that I belong to. We're all online fitness coaches. We all like are in this industry because we love fitness, yes, and we love helping people with our knowledge, yes, right? So when we change somebody's life, and it like like genuinely change somebody's life, like they like the way they look, their life is better, the quality of their life is better because they have a healthier mindset, things of that sort. Like those are all wins. Those are like amazing things that you can notice that they experience, and we're in it for that as fitness coaches. But on the flip side, we're also entrepreneurs, and having goals, monetary goals at that, like financial goals to hit, they're amazing too. But it's not all about the numbers, right? And this is just to like shift or to draw the parallel, right? So it's not all about numbers. I could hit that target goal, and get that monetary reward, hit that financial goal, and look at that financial goal as like, okay, cool, but I got to impact a lot more people's lives. Like that's where I feel more connected. That's where I feel like I'm serving my purpose more and living my life with more of a meaning. Like it's the interaction. The same way that I would interact with my clients and feel that level of satisfaction with them. It's the same way that you in this scenario would look at yourself in the mirror and interact with yourself. And instead of looking at the scale, and the scale being money for me in my analogy, and body weight for you in your analogy. Does that make sense? Does that make sense, guys and girls? I really tried my best to draw a parallel there. Hope that made sense to you. All right. So I really want you to just lean towards the mirror more and lean away from the scale. Okay. Because weight is just a number, money is just a number. Okay. It's about the experience, the interaction that you have with the other person, even if the other person is yourself in the mirror. If you're actually happy with what you look like, if you're actually confident, right? If you are satisfied, you can, derive satisfaction from your fitness journey. Okay. Not stepping on the scale and looking at arbitrary numbers. Okay. So the last thing I wanted to bring up, guys and girls, is yes, I know I've been repeating it the whole entire live stream slash podcast. Weight is just a number. Weight is just a number. Sure. Yeah. Whatever. But numbers are tools, they're variables. They're not a permanent reality, though. Okay. So they're still useful, but they're not your reality. Okay. Look at number as a tool or a variable, something that you can use to measure progress, and then look at the mirror as your reality. Okay. Two different things. One of them is going to be something that's going to move you, like it's going to tell you how far away you are from something. Technically, you measure, you say, okay, well, I weigh 200 this week. Next week, I weigh 202. The week after that, I weigh 201. The week after that, I go 189, and then back and forth. So you'll know where you are. It's a tool you can use to measure where you are, whether it's how close or how far you are from a target. Numbers are amazing, not just with weight, or not just with the weight that the amount that you weigh, but also weight in the gym. Numbers are amazing. Who doesn't want to put on extra, plates when they're squatting? Who doesn't want to put on extra plates when they're benching? Right. So knowing how much and tracking how much you're able to lift, and for the reps as well. Again, numbers, reps. We can use those things to track and to measure, and honestly use them as like variables in our fitness journey. But numbers are not everything. Okay. So if numbers were everything, it wouldn't matter if one day you decided, or your body decided, that it just wasn't strong enough, but you wanted to lift 315 pounds on the bench press. If numbers were that important, you'd just be able to do it. But it's not the way it works. You got to interact with the flesh. You've got to interact with what's really going on with the reality. As I said, tool number is, but the number is not your permanent reality, right? The person that you see in the mirror is a reflection of your permanent reality. If you let it be your permanent reality, but if you decide to use numbers as a tool to help you control the reality, you get satisfaction. Okay, but the power is not in the number, even though it's the tool. Right? It's like, and forgive me for bringing up this analogy here, or this weird reference. We want to just explain it. Hopefully, it makes you guys and girls understand a bit better. But like, think of gun. Like, shoot, you can shoot somebody and kill them. Technically, the gun was a tool that was used, right? But it was the person that killed the other person or the other thing they were hunting, right? So think of it like that. The number is the tool. The number is the gun. Okay, and you are the one using that tool to get the outcome that you want. Okay, I hope that makes sense. Hopefully, your mind isn't like veering off into the deep end like me, because sometimes I just do that. But you know what it is. I appreciate you guys and girls so much. Thank you so much for your time and attention today. This is the number one podcast on this planet, country. Where are we at? I see some people, Triple OG. I see you people over there on TikTok. Okay, cool. Yep, this is number one podcast for anyone on this planet, country, or nation who wants to make an amazing mental and physical natural transformation. You know what's up. Don't forget to implement at least one thing from this podcast. Take one thing and actually apply it to your life. All right, guys and girls, do it. Just do it. Otherwise, you just waste your time here. Again, information without an implementation is just fucking noise. All right. So if you laugh, cried, got any value, or motivation or inspiration, you laughed or anything, or you felt insulted, again, share that to a friend that you know is going to enjoy it too. Okay. Shameless plug. Subscribe to my YouTube channel, Matt Butale, Matt space Butale, to see how I live my life outside of social media. And if you also want to lose 25 pounds in 20 weeks and get ready for summer, become a natural nomad yourself, and learn from me firsthand directly, shoot me a DM with the word nomad. And then, all right. It's been nice chatting. Hope you like what today's topic was about. Natural IFBB Pro Mat signing out. You know what's good. Hope you guys and girls have the sickest motherfucking Tuesday of your life. We are out. Boom. Hey, Jeff. We just finished up. Oh, man. You can watch the replay, though, if you really want. Cheers, man.